Hey everybody, it's Mr. Bubbles, and I have a tale to tell. So this one is about how I burned these 3 fingers in a deep fryer. So anyway, I was working at this, I was working at a bar. I'm not gonna say the name because I want to make sure I'm not giving bad publicity. But um, I was working at a bar. I was a kitchen, I was a line cook basically. Wasn't well, the job itself was not my forte, not really my thing. I can cook, just not at that tempo. But I was cooking there at the time. I was actually working with a friend of mine too, and we were just working, and end of the shift. And this night, it was Wednesday night, which happened to be our taco nights. Um, but yeah, so here, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. It was end of shift where, you know, doing our cleanup. I think he was doing dishes or something. I was cleaning the deep fryer because on Wednesday nights we got to go through and we got to filter it. We do change it. We did change it weekly, but the oil was good as long as we filtered and everything. The oil was good for like a week. We probably could have gone longer, but we did a week. Week was good. So I'm trying, just another thing, and how, for some context, how it works is with this fryer unit. So we had to drain the oil. So you had the oil in the pan where everything gets fried at, and then kind of near the bottom there's like a little, like a drain, but it's plugged while it's supposed to be in use, obviously. But like there's a little thing, like a little pipe we can add to it and stuff, so we can drain it out, And so I was doing that, draining out, but part of it is, of course, we're draining it, we're filtering it. There's chunks of stuff in there, like fries, chicken, just chunks of stuff, which is what I'm trying to clean out. So I'm doing that, and we have this this long, kind of like raw, like almost like a thick coat hanger. Like if you unwound it all out and stuff, it'd be like a thick coat hanger. So I was using that. That's what we used to, keep the line clear, so the oil could keep draining. And so I'm doing that, and I'm holding it like. Let's see if I can set this up. So I'm holding the pipe so I got under my pinky. So no, I got the pipe under my pinky, but under these 3. So there's really nothing between these 3 fingers and the deep fryer. This will get pertinent in a second. And I'm just sitting there. It's draining. Of course, I have it all turned off and everything, but it takes a long time for oil to cool down. It takes a few hours, at least probably close to an hour before it's cool. At least I would think cool enough. I don't know. I'm no expert. But I'm sitting there trying to, unclog it because it was clogging it up, doing my thing, when I felt, from my perspective, how it felt like something slipped, like it went through or something, and like the oil level was just high enough to where I, dipped my fingers just in enough to get my fingers in the deep fryer. Purely accidental. Like I said, it felt like something slipped. Oh, and that's a pain I never want to feel again. If you've ever been burned, obviously specific oil burn for this situation, but I would assume any burn pain would be comparable, like severe enough, like more than a sunburn. So it hurt like a motherfucker. So of course it happened. We make calls. My coworker, my buddy, was helping me out when he could. He still had to do orders and stuff, but like. My boss called in. She was the Mrs. Owner. She was the one that took me to the hospital. She's in the room because that way she knew what was going on. Less for me to have to fill her in on. But she ended up, of course, obviously took me to the hospital. Workman's comp case and everything. But what sucked, so beforehand, because I didn't go right away because my boss wasn't there. But I had to also. This part really sucked too. I had to run my fingers. Mind you, these are burned. There was I think they said it was like a 2nd degree burn when I got to the hospital. They were blistered like that. Definitely that whole layer of skin. Oh, it was gross looking. Once I got it all, cleaned up and everything. But I had to stick it under hot water, running hot water first. And for some of you who may not know, hot water, because like I said, I stuck it down a deep fryer, I have to get that grease and oil off first. So I had to run it onto hot water for a while, and then I was able to basically ice bath it, which helped. But it made I was had issues because didn't want my hand going numb. So I basically did that, and then, of course, got to the hospital. They looked at my hand, took at my hand, they cleaned it up even more, did a little stuff. It was actually fairly clean of grease. So I did that good with there. But yeah, I did that whole thing. I think I was out of work for I want to say 3 days, but I think it might have been about up to a week that I wasn't working. And I had to sit here and bend my fingers as it was healing so I could get those, those little crinkles there at the knuckles. Oh, but that sucked though. One of the worst pains I've ever felt. But yeah, so that's the story of how I burned my deep fry, my fingers. And my buddy who still works, he still works there. He's like the head cook there now, which is, good for him. He loves the job. But he still tells all new cooks there, not to pull a Mr. Bubbles and stick your fingers in a deep fryer. That's not what we mean by finger steaks. So he still jokes about that. It sucks. It was stupid. It was an accident. But hey, we're able to laugh about it after. So that's the point of these tales, is just to get enjoyment out of them. Okay, so don't feel bad for me. My hands work. My fingers are fine. But yeah, it's just one of those things that happen. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the tale. I just want to get this out there because I don't want you guys thinking I forgot about you. But anyway, you guys take it easy. Have a good night.